to another episode of Texans for Texas. We are out here in Cleveland, Texas at the American Legion Post 393. We got a special guest, Mr. Rod Binnion, going to be up here with us here shortly. I want to talk about a few things that's going on. Last night we were in Conroe, Texas at the Golden Corral for their event for the veterans. There were over 800 vets showed up throughout the day and got fed for free by Golden Corral, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, it was very, very cool to be out there with all those vets.
Yeah, we had the ROTC show up, and that they did a lot of stuff. It was really magical watching those vets eat, and they were all running up talking to us. But there was one gentleman in particular that we met, and I think you know who we're talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Buck Sloan, a World War II survivor.
Yeah, CP Buck Sloan, World War II survivor. He was actually on in the Battle of Normandy, and he told us quite a few stories. He told us that Company A and Company B were both there, and I love the story. He said that he captured 31 Germans by himself. And he turned them over to Company A, and he thought he was turning them over to Company B, so Company A got all the credit for it. So, I mean, the story was great. It's going to be in our documentary that's coming out. Hopefully the middle of December, we'll have the documentary ready to go. You can purchase it. You can view it. Here at the American Legion, we're going to have a documentary night where you can come in and watch the documentary and visit with the people here at this post. But it was amazing. But now, on to some things with Texas. Did a little research last night. Now, according to the government stats, which I don't buy the government stats, I don't believe them, I think they're all BS. According to government stats, they're saying there's only 2,000 homeless veterans within a 100-mile radius of Houston, which I know for a fact that's bullshit because I've met more than that in the past 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So I don't go by their stats. I don't think they're right. And if you go onto another website, which is through the Veterans Administration, they're saying there's over 6,000 homeless vets. So, I mean, if you take the 2,000 with the 6,000, I mean, that's 8,000. I mean, that's too many homeless vets to be in America, to be in Texas. It's just too many homeless vets, period. And that's what our group is about, is trying to get these vets into some housing, get them jobs, counseling, medical, whatever they need. It's, you know, they went over and sacrificed so much for us. It's our turn to give back to them. So that's why we're here. Now, this American Legion has been around for quite a while. I would say 20 years, maybe more.
Maybe more, yeah.
Maybe more. So this place has been closed since COVID hit, and they're about to lose their property, in which me and Rod Binnion are going to get into that in a minute, because we have a lot of questions for the government, and I hope somebody contacts us and gives us some information on it. But they're real close to losing this place, and I can't see another veteran facility going under. Now, by researching last night, I looked up. Now, there's an estimated, now this is since 2020, since the Biden administration took office. Now, I'm not saying it's their fault or anything like that. I'm just telling you what's out there, the research that I found. Now, since 2020, 11% of the American Legions have closed for good since 2020.
It's one too many.
Yeah, that's 11% too many, you know. And there's an estimated 14% of VFWs that have closed down since 2020. Now, these are veteran facilities that are no longer going to be operating to help veterans. Give veterans a place to go, a place where veterans can hang out and be among their brothers in arms. And I think it's completely insane, and I think it's disgusting that America and our government is letting this happen. So on that note, I'm going to take a short little break here. get a couple of commercials to you, and we're going to bring Mr. Rod Binnion on for a few minutes and do a little talking, and then we'll be right back at you. So hang on.
Can you see the sizzle? Can you hear the sizzle? Can you smell the sizzle? Can you taste the sizzle? Yes, you can at El Burrito.
Dining, dancing, live entertainment. Finest dining on this side of the border. Pueblo, Ritaville. Don't worry, we found your salt. 25069 FM 2090, Splendora, Texas 77372. 832-793-5119.
All right, folks, welcome back. We got Mr. Rod Binnion here,
Hello.
the host of Texas Country Live.
Yes, sir.
Man, your show is really starting to
Man,
take off.
It's exciting, bud. I promise you.
Is
I'm very happy with the show. Very proud of it.
Yeah, so far you've had, who all's been on the show?
Well, so far we've had Little Kenny Jackson Jr., we've had Mike Wilson, and then Kevin Lamar airs tonight at 6 p.m. And then we'll be interviewing the beautiful Miss Susan Hickman on Thursday.
Oh, man, Susan, man, that girl's like everywhere you look.
She is on fire right now, man.
You get on Facebook and you start looking up club ads and things like that.
Right.
You're seeing a picture and her name. It never fails. That girl is on fire.
You know, she does her own thing, and she also plays with the Girls with Guitars group that shows.
That's what it's called, Girls with Guitars.
Right, it's kind of an answer to the 10-man jam
Yeah.
that they had on the radio for such a long time. And she's amazing, man. She really is a great singer, and she's a great performer.
Well, that's incredible, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming out here. Taking the
appreciate you
time
having
to
me.
come out to the.
Well, you know, I'm not a real
American
political
Legion.
guy, you know,
Yeah.
but you want to get me stirred up, mess with my veterans, man. You know, they sacrifice so much to keep us free.
Yeah.
And, you know, man, I can't love them enough, and I can't appreciate them enough. And when you said they needed some help, man, I'm all over it, brother.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, man, like I said, I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us today and looking at this beautiful place.
It's a cool place, man. I've never been in here before.
Yeah. Now, you noticed, as I noticed, we actually reset up. Right behind us is the POW and
Right.
the MIA table, and we wanted to get that in this frame, so hopefully it'll stir something up in you to kind of get you to join up with us and help us save this place, because we don't want it to go down. We don't want it to
Absolutely
close.
not.
We want to keep it open and active and healthy and helping all the veterans. Now, I noticed when you pulled in, did you notice all the mobile homes out here?
I did, absolutely.
These are veterans that
Like an RV
potentially
park.
be homeless. You know?
I know, man, and that just breaks my heart, bud. I'm telling you, I can't understand why our government would allow something like that to happen. you know?
Exactly.
It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because, you know, those guys have sacrificed so much. You know, I had the privilege of working with a guy, David MacArthur. He was a retired humble police officer and a Vietnam veteran. And he had a friend of his named Phil, and I'm sorry I don't remember what Phil's last name was, but we were together one night, and they were talking about some Vietnam experiences, and man, I was just, you know, in awe. And I couldn't believe what they were talking about. And, you know, what those guys go through is just absolutely a shame. It's terrible, and what they have to see, and they can't unsee, and why our government doesn't support them for eternally, you know, it's beyond me. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah. And I know you've never been a real political guy.
No, I'm
you know,
not, man.
but it's like when I talked to you last night, I think it was, and I told you about what was going on and today,
Right.
and you were like, "Well, what time are you filming? I'm coming."
Right?
You know?
Well, absolutely, man. You know, if there's a cause that's just and deserving, like this one is, I'm all over it, brother. Absolutely. I'll do everything
Well,
I
man,
possibly can within my power to help out.
Well, what do you think about what I said in the earlier opening about an estimated 11% of American legions have closed for good,
You know, it makes no sense.
and the VFWs, 14% of them are closed for good now, and
Right.
that's since 2020. And like I said
Right.
earlier, I'm not blaming any administration. I'm blaming the system.
Right. You know, I didn't really know that much about the American Legion, so I looked it up. I Googled it. Let me read to you what it says. It says the American Legion was American Legion was chartered by Congress in 1919 as a patriotic veterans organization, focusing on service to veterans, service members, and communities. The Legion evolved from a group of war-weary veterans of World War I into one of the most influential nonprofit groups in the United States. You know, that being said, you know, how is it that we come to where we're at right now?
I don't know.
It makes absolutely no sense to me.
You know that I'm proud of our group that we put together.
Sure.
Texans for Texas.
So am I.
You know, we've spent a couple of years putting this group together for the sole purpose of getting veterans off the streets, taking care of them, getting them fed, medical,
right,
psychiatric, whatever they need, taking care of them. And when I found out about this place, I spent a week trying to contact them to find out what was going on, what we could do. And you know, we've been in the process talking. We're trying to buy, for our group, we're trying to buy 5 acres of land,
right,
and get the 36 by 100 foot building built on it so we can do our own work like the American Legions and VFWs do. But once I saw this place, to me, it kind of changed my whole purpose. It made me think more, well, we should be, this is everything that we're trying to build right here. Why would we build something else when we could save this?
Absolutely.
Put all of our efforts into this.
Right.
You know, so that's my train of thought. Everybody together, the community out there, all of our fans, all the people that watch your show, our show,
sure,
the radio listeners, everybody out there needs to come on board and be here this Sunday, which is November 20th at 12 noon till whenever, till we run out of food, we run out of drinks. Hopefully we're going to have a lot of live entertainment going on, so maybe some karaoke, maybe even throw some bingo in there. Hell, I don't know. We're just going to make a day out of it,
right,
man. It's going to be
right,
to raise any kind of funds that we can get together to save this location.
You know, this place is worth saving. Absolutely, hands down. And you know, I mentioned sacrifice a while ago. I'm a Google guy.
You're a Googler. You're a Googler.
Let me
Go
read
ahead.
the definition of sacrifice, okay? Sacrifice or sacrificing to suffer loss, give up, renounce, injure, or destroy, especially for an ideal, belief, or an end, you know? And you think about that, people. I mean, these guys sacrificed so much to ensure our freedom.
Yeah.
You know, they gave up so much. You know, think about how many of them gave up their lives. You know,
how many left and never came home?
A soldier's life is not just given; it's taken. You know, yeah, it's their job to be out there, but it's not their job to die. And there's so many of them that have lost their lives, man. And if you start thinking about it, it just breaks your heart.
Yeah.
You know, I had my great uncle, Clyde Garrett, was a part of D-Day. He was not on the Omaha beach; he was on Utah Beach, from what I told. And my grandfather talked about how it changed him. You know, just absolutely changed him completely. He was a tap dancer when he left and never danced again. You know, and that's just so sad to think about how these guys, even the survivors, suffer.
Right.
And that's what this place is for. This place is for them to have a refuge they can go to and
be among brothers.
Be among brothers who have made the same sacrifice, who understand what they're going through. And, you know, why the government would actually allow this place to go under, like I said, man, it's beyond me. You know, there are things that we can do. There are things that people can do. They can help. They can donate. There's a lot of things they can do. But we have to do something. And that's why I'm here. I just can't allow this to go down without putting forth effort to do something about it.
Yeah, those men and women sacrificed so much for us. You know, I would give up damn near everything I own to save this place if I had to. Because, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't have this TV network. We wouldn't have the radio show. We wouldn't have our shows. You know, we wouldn't have, if it wasn't for the men and women of the U.S. military that gave us the freedoms and the rights to be able to do this.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to keep this place open. The question I'm going to ask the viewers is, what are they willing to do?
Yeah, what are you willing to do? What can you do? And will you do it? I mean, you know, we can do a whole lot of stuff, but it's a two-part thing.
Well, we can say we can do a whole lot of stuff. We can actually get off the couch and do it.
Get the talking part done, But actually getting up and making it happen, that's a different thing, and we need for people to take action. I mean, this is absolutely a serious situation over here. It's urgent.
All right.
And something has to be done. We cannot allow money to shut this place down.
Yeah.
Because this thing is so much more than money. You know,
It really is.
It really is. I mean, these guys.
I mean, look at that, the goosebumps.
I know, I got
Just
them too.
Sitting in here talking about
Absolutely,
the
I just got them too. But it's so much more than money, and they have to have places like this, and they deserve places like this.
Yes, they do.
And we, you know, as a country and as human beings and as patriots, it's our responsibility and obligation to help this place stay open, in my opinion.
Yes. And y'all heard that straight from Rod Binnion, the non-political guy.
Non-political guy, absolutely.
But if you can donate your time, if you just want to hang out, or if you just want more information, call us at our office. It's 832-793-5218, or you can find us on Facebook. We have two pages. One is Texans for Texas. The other one is Texas Media. I know you're building a page right now.
I'm building a page right now, Texas Country Live.
And then we all have our personal pages, either Dale Webb, Rod Binnion, Michael Bearden. Contact us. Let us know that you're interested in helping. You know, we would be happy to have you on board with us.
You know, I know that some of you people are thinking maybe, well, what can I do? Well, let me tell you. You can get groups together, okay? Have a bake sale.
Mm-hmm.
Have a garage sale.
Exactly.
You know, get your neighborhood together. There's a lot of, neighborhood organizations, homeowners associations, HOAs.
Yeah.
Get together, y'all, and y'all put something together to raise money for these guys, for this place, because it needs to happen. And I'm an American, and I'm proud to be an American.
That's right.
You know, and because I am an American, I am able to have my freedom and do pretty much whatever I want to do within the law. And, you know, and the only reason I have that is because of the guys that this place represents.
Exactly.
And that's straight up, flat out, that's the way it works. And that's what it is. And, you know, there are things that y'all can do. Get your church together, your church group. Y'all have a bake sale. Do whatever you can. You know, garage sales, whatever. Just get it done and donate this money over here because they need it.
Exactly.
Absolutely, they need it.
So support Texans for Texas to help veterans. That's what we do. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this today. That's why we're going to be doing it until they run us off. Let's put it that way. We're going to be here to help until they run us off. But we're going to leave you with actually not a closing statement, but I think Binnion would agree. We're going to leave you with a visual of what's sitting behind us. So I want y'all to take a good look at what's fixing to come up and look at it closely and think about what they sacrificed for me, for you, and for you. And there it is.
Check it out. You know, it breaks my heart just looking at it. Absolutely.
It really does. That's gut.
The right seasons and spices come together to make the perfect mix for good friends, cold beer, incredible food. Only at King Street Crawfish Company, Liberty, Texas.
Bliss Puff in Magnolia, Texas, a piece of heaven on earth. A smoker's paradise with all your smoking needs. Excellent customer service and the knowledge to help you with your smoking needs. Come to Bliss Puff in Magnolia, Texas for a piece of heaven on earth. 20555 FM 1488, Magnolia, Texas 77355, 832-521-3032.
Hey everybody, it's Rod Binnion here. Mr. Webb had to go outside, take a little break. He'll be back shortly. But Michael was here, and you know, I heard a story that your dad was a Vietnam vet, Mike, and I'd like for you to relay that to us.
Yes, my father was a Vietnam veteran. He was a machine gun operator and a bulldoze operator. Yeah, he was on a bulldozer one day, and all of a sudden his bulldozer ran over a mine, threw him 20 feet, messed him up, shrapnel in the back. I still remember to this day. Wow. Seeing all the shrapnel that went into his back. It was like, you know, just
wow,
all kinds of little holes on his back and stuff. Right. And messed him up. He got shot out because he was also on a helicopter and he was getting shot at.
Sure.
Then he came home, married my mama. He didn't. I don't think he did another tour. I think he only did one tour because of it. Came back, messed up, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. The VA hospital put my dad on all kinds of medications. I mean, there was plenty of times when I would just see him sitting there. Right next to him is just this bucket of 20-something pill bottles. 20-something pill bottles. He also had to fight for his disability and his full 100%.
Wow.
He literally had to walk around with a duck with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, just so that way he could be put on 100% disability.
Man.
Everything else didn't go through for him. Then they decided to put him on shock treatments. The number one thing you should never do, because while my dad was sitting there, he would forget about present stuff. He wouldn't worry, but he wouldn't forget about the past stuff.
Right.
It was always a present, because one time he said, let's go home. So here I am, 15 years old, get in the car, and he's driving all the way back to Splendora, and we live in Houston.
Wow.
It's just messed up, you know, that they did all of this knowing it wasn't going to help him in the least. Then the unfortunate day happens, 2007 Thanksgiving night. I'm working at Walmart, okay? Turns out that, and the last thing that my dad called me that day.
Right.
And I had a choice, go to work at Walmart or go to Thanksgiving. Fortunately, I think I did the right thing by going to work. My dad wanted me. He said on the phone, he said, oh, he was proud of me. I was driving around in a 1990 Ford Mustang, LX, love those Fox bodies, by the way. And so, midnight come home, I'm over at the Smiths, living with them at that time. Ellen, she came and she told me, she said, Michael, you need to sit down, I have some sad news. I'm like, okay. It turns out that your father had passed away.
Wow.
So here I go.
So sorry, man.
Scott actually took me back to Splendora from Cleveland, and there he was sitting laying on the ground dead with a blanket over him.
That is awful.
I think it was all these shock treatments. I mean, he couldn't even walk for the last 10 years of his life. He couldn't walk anymore, and I think it was because of the shock treatments. Because, you know, you have these motor functions in your body or your spine, and I think it just shocked his brain so badly that his spine just couldn't handle him.
Right. It's awful, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It's just awful. And that's what I'm talking about, sacrifice. You know, these guys go to war, and they fight for our freedom, and they do a tour or maybe 2 tours, whatever. They're there for several years, a couple years, 1 year, whatever. It lasts with them for the rest of their life. It's not something they can unsee. There are not actions they can undo. It's there. It's done. And to be able to deal with it, it's just far more than most normal people can even imagine. You know, I mentioned David MacArthur before. David and I were talking, and I'd watched a movie that was current, and this group of soldiers were going to take this hill, and their supervisors or their sergeant or whatever was ordering them up this hill, knowing that they had 0 chances of survival. And I told David, I said, man, what is going on, man? There is no way, if I knew that my chance of surviving this surge was 0 to none, and there's no way I'd do it. I mean, that's why I probably could never have been a soldier. You know, he says, Bud, you don't do it because somebody ordered you to. You do it because the guy to your left is doing it, and the guy to your right is doing it. You're doing it for your buddies, and to keep them going, and to keep them alive, and to watch their back, because you're watching their back and they're watching yours. He said it's this commitment that we make to each other. And, you know, for people who've not been in combat, including myself, that's not something that we can even understand, that type of, you know, camaraderie among soldiers. And it's there. It's a bond that never goes away. And they sacrifice so much, not just their lives, but their family. And, you know, these places like the American Legion Hall here in Cleveland, you know, this is their escape. And to allow this place to go under is absolutely ludicrous. We cannot allow that to happen. Something has to be done. And I, for one, will do anything and everything I possibly can to keep it going. Absolutely.
Okay, well, we're about to go on a commercial break, guys.
Right.
Thanks for letting me tell your story. and we are on break.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Michael.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Then he came home, found my mama, and then here I am.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Texans for Texas. We got Mr. Herb Smith here with us. He's the you're the Sergeant at Arms here, correct?
Sergeant at Arms, yes, sir.
Sergeant at Arms. He's going to tell you a little bit about him and the American Legion here, and hopefully he'll approve of us trying to save this place and keep it open. So, Mr. Herb, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. I served in the military for 11 and a half years during Vietnam, part of it. And when I got out of the service, I moved to the Houston area, and I saw an ad in the newspaper flyer out here that said that they were renting out trailer spaces and camping spaces for a very small amount. So I followed up on it, and I've been out here for 10 years plus.
10 plus years. How long has the Legion been up and running?
Oh, it's been up for many, 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 many years. One of the gentlemen here has been here 14 years already.
Okay, because we were guesstimating about 20 years. Is that right, or has it been longer than that?
It's a whole lot longer than that. This post was actually established much, much earlier than that.
Oh, wow.
It's back on the wall. I could actually show it to you, but not during the filming.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I'd be very happy to show it to you later.
Oh, that would be great.
That's our original status of being opened as a post.
Now, as a veteran, what do you see that could change within the U.S., the administrations? It doesn't matter, Democratic, whatever. What do you see that could change that could really help y'all?
Well, we got a lot of help from our previous president. He opened up the medical field and told the hospitals if they weren't taking care of the vets, he would find somebody else that would.
That's what C.P. Buck Sloan said yesterday.
Yes, sir. That has a lot to do with it because I was just recently given a local doctor instead of having to go 30 miles or better to go to
the
VA.
Veterans VA.
They gave me a local doctor right here, and he's fantastic. And his charges are all paid by the VA. But I received a bill Friday that I had a chance to really pay attention to for lab work done at his facility for $2,640.39.
I thought the administration would take care of that.
They're supposed to, but I just received a bill.
Well, if the administration don't help you with that, you let us know, and our group will do what we can to get it taken care of for you.
I appreciate that because living on a small fixed income, it doesn't make it very feasible.
Yes, sir.
To be able to take care of that myself.
Yes, sir. Now, you served, you said, in Okinawa?
Yes, sir. When I went into service, it was during Vietnam, and the girl I was engaged to, her mother worked in military personnel, and she said, your draft notice is being mailed this week. So I said, whoops, and I took a day off of work and went and enlisted with a 120-day before I had to report. But by doing that, I qualified for a school that was 44 weeks long.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So I had another whole year before I would have to go to Vietnam if that was the chance. As it turned out, my MOS wasn't permitted in Vietnam, so it worked out even better. The only disappointing thing is the job I had, not knowing that I was going to enlist, was draft exempt, and they never bothered to tell me.
Oh, wow.
In 1968.
Yeah, so somebody dropped the ball there, huh?
Right.
Yes, sir.
But the 11 and a half years I had in the military, I really enjoyed.
Yes, sir.
Basic training was in my backyard. I was born and raised in New Jersey, and I went to Fort Dix. My house was 1,300 feet off of Fort Dix.
Oh, wow.
We were restricted to the barracks for the first 6 weeks out of 8 weeks of training, but there was only 2 nights in basic training I didn't make it off post. I had a little arrangement with the DIs, and it worked out fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, now, do you have any buddies that still around that you talk to, that you served with? Any that come in here maybe?
I have a few that do come in here periodically. We didn't serve together. We served very close and not knowing it until we actually.
You served together separately?
Yes, sir. Basically, yes.
Together separately, okay.
I was at Fort Detrick, Maryland, and he was at Walter Reed Army Hospital, which I had to go to periodically for a hiatal hernia. And but we never had met one another until we got out of the service, both of us.
Oh, wow.
He will be here tonight, well, approximately at 5 o'clock, to help me arrange the flags and such for the meeting tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, is there anything you would like to say about the American Legion here and the struggles it's going through?
We are going through a lot of dramatic problems right now. Part of it was probably due mostly to Colbert because of the fact our bar license expired, but we had tried to get it reinstated prior to it being expiring. But the whole trouble there was that nobody was working in the office. All we were getting was an answering machine and never getting a call back.
Right.
Part of the time because everybody here, most people here still work, so they weren't available on the phone at each and every time. So lack of communications caused our license to expire.
Yes, sir.
And then they come up with the idea that we had to pay X amount of dollars for the license to be reinstated.
Yes, sir.
As if we were applying for a brand new license.
Doing a brand new one.
rather than going for just a
renewal
of our current license. So there was a big foul up there.
Well, I did some research for you, and that's what I did before I retired a few years back, and we started this group for the veterans. I did small business development. So I've been doing some research, and I brought y'all some paperwork to try to help get y'all's license back in here one way or the other. If we have to get a new one, then by golly, that's what we're going to do. I want to see this place back open, and my vision is with the community and our group involved in helping get this back up and running. I would like to see this be the premier American Legion, to where other American Legions can look at this and see how the community has come together to work with the vets to get it up and running. And that way we can actually start from here to help veterans reach out to them that are out on the streets, you know that they can contact us for safety, security, and anything they need.
That's part of my job as the service officer as well, is to help and whenever they need to know where to go to get something done.
Yes, sir.
It becomes very helpful having a group like that. This post here, I don't have the exact date of when it was opened, but it was 15, 18 years ago. We used to handle all the baseball teams out here.
Oh, okay.
And during that fiasco, when our electric bill went sky high, there was a misunderstanding between the post and the community. And we'd love to see that corrected and taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Because when we were getting the bills for outdoor lighting for the baseball fields, it was a lot more than we could physically handle.
Right.
We weren't charging them anything to use our facility for their baseball games. But unfortunately, it got blown out of proportion, and a lot of the local community didn't want to hear stuff like that.
I can understand. I can understand that, because my community, our community group, we thought when we first organized a few years back, we thought about doing it, a 501(c). But with all the new government rules and things that they stick on us, we said, you know what, we're going to stay as a community group, and we'll do everything without the government's help, because right now, and yeah, I hate to say it like this, but I don't see the current administration doing all they can for people like you.
They don't. They have dropped the ball entirely on trying to take care of the situation and alleviate a situation that could be fixed easily.
Yes, sir.
If there was just a little time and effort put into it.
Yes, sir. Well, I just want you to know we're here for you. And like I said, I'm going to give you my phone number, direct numbers to me, so you can call me anytime you need to talk, or you have a question, or you have an idea. Well, folks, this is one of the heroes that we've been talking about for the past 2 years, right here.
Thank you.
This man served so you could have your freedom. This man needs to be thanked
Thank you.
and not forgotten. Well, I'm Dale Webb. My co-host Michael Beard is behind the counter. We are Texans for Texas, and we are at the American Legion in Cleveland, Texas, post 393.
Which is the largest post in the United States.
And with any luck, between the three of us, we're going to make it the largest post in Texas. By golly.
By golly.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.